Hello and welcome to Xero Uncut. I'm Xero, as always.
I'm Bobby, and we have a guest, which I still can't believe is in studio. JTG, everybody.
What's up,
No
guys? How you
introduction
doing?
needed.
Yeah, we're
Thank
cool.
you for having me.
That's not a problem at all. Thank you for agreeing to come on.
Yeah, thanks for coming on, my man.
No time, anytime.
Yeah, like he dropped the news on the air last week, and I should probably go back and get my reaction because I'm like, wait, are you serious? Because he built it up too. He's like, well, we do have a guest, and I wanted to tell you on air just so I can get your reaction. I'm sitting there, and I'm like, I have no idea. And our guest we had last week had no idea either. So we're both like,
Oh wow!
we're like, what is going on here? And he probably told our guest before he told me.
No,
So
I
I'm
told you
just
to go
like,
at the same
Good
time.
build up, Zero.
Yeah.
yeah, I'm sitting there, and I'm like, who is this gonna be? And then he put the picture up. I'm like, whoa. I'm
Yeah.
like, this is great. I think I not ran into you in Cali, but you were at WrestleCon, right?
WrestleCon, yeah. I had I
Was
was
that
signing.
Dallas? Yeah. You were definitely at Dallas. I remember seeing you
Yeah.
there. Cali was a little rough because I lost my wallet at WrestleCon and yeah. So yeah,
Did you lose it?
yeah. Well, somebody had it. Somebody had it. Let's just say that. They tried. Yeah, they
All I'm
tried to
saying,
use
I
it.
gave that up. I gave that up years ago, so I'm just saying.
Oh man! So you were the one that tried to use it at SoFi Stadium. Okay, that's fair. That's fair. Okay, WrestleMania merch though, really? I thought you could get that on a discount. No, yeah, no, yeah, I gave that up years ago. That's hysterical. Oh man, but yeah, I just got some questions. We'll save Shad for last. All right. There was a story about you. I want to say years ago, but I
Yeah.
just want to. While you're here, I just want to confirm. Did you used to change and hide in janitor closets in WWE to change to avoid Vince
No.
McMahon? Okay, I just wonder. I've heard that so many places,
Uh-huh.
and because apparently the story was this is what I remember. You were at some show. I don't remember where it was. I don't even remember what
Yeah.
it was. Vince came in, looked at you, and said, "You're still employed here," and then you were like, "Oh." God, I have to hide now. And then eventually they called you and you were like, I shouldn't have picked up the phone.
Wow, that's some crazy,
Really?
crazy. Yeah, that's crazy. That's ridiculous.
That never happened.
But Vince came up to me and said, "You're still employed." He's never
Like,
said that to me.
yeah, like Vince just passed you in the locker room and Vince was just like, you're still here? And you were like, oh, maybe I should hide? Because, like, out of
That
sight, out of mind.
that has never happened.
Okay.
But
All right. I remember that story.
there is always there was always some truth to this story. So
Okay.
here is like my final days going with WWE.
Okay.
So after being tired of pitching ideas and being turned down and seeing my ideas being used on television, some of my ideas. Um, as a performer, as a talent, when you're passionate about something, you just like kind of like you reach a moment in your career, you just kind of like give up. You're just there.
Hmm.
And when they was flying me in, after being flown in, after months and months of not being used, you're looking at the wall up not being used. You just go into the locker room or you go into catering. So that's just where everybody used to see me. It was just either in the locker room or catering.
Oh,
And
okay.
I didn't even
Yeah.
bother. Like usually, talent they usually go to the they try to politic. They go to the ring and try to be seen and politic and try to get TV time. And it's like I didn't at that point in my career. I was just in the locker room. I was on my phone. I was on my laptop. Every time the talent was being who was being used, they'll come in the locker room like, "You still here? You still here?" And then it gave the impression that I was hiding in the locker room. It was like, no, I'm just chilling on my phone.
Okay.
On my laptop. I'm just staying occupied, staying busy. They're flying me out here. I don't know why, just to sit and watch everybody else do what they love to do. And then I eventually was home for like 9 months. And they stopped flying me in. My last match was with Santino,
Wow.
with Santino Morello, and that was a very good way to go out. If you ask me. I enjoyed that match with
Mm,
Santino.
mm. That's a heck of a last match. Yeah, I mean, but yeah, I remember seeing that story and I'm like, that's so weird. Like, why would Vince just be? Well, I mean, there is. I don't know if you've heard. Luke Gallows talk about this. When they came back to WWE in 2016, I don't remember when they signed him and Carl Anderson.
Mhm.
Vince said, "Welcome to the company," and Gallows was like, "I've been here before." What? Like Vince had no idea he signed him in the past,
Oh
released
wow,
him.
that came out of his mouth.
Yeah,
He said that.
that's when
Oh wow.
Gallows confirmed it. He was backstage for the first time in 2016 or whatever, whenever they re-signed,
Yeah.
and Vince said, "Welcome to the company, big man." And Gallows was like, "I've been
Wow.
here before. What do you?" And Gallows was like, "All
Was in
right,
the
whatever."
developmental. Not only
Yeah,
was he been here before, he was in the developmental for a few years.
he was Festus. Yeah, I
Yeah.
don't know if you remember
Mhm.
that. Yeah, yeah. So yeah, but he was like, I don't want to remember that character, so maybe it's good. He was like, "That's cool, that's cool, that's cool." So yeah, um, uh, WrestleMania in Dallas, 2022, Hall of Fame. I was there. Now, that was probably one of the coolest things I've got to see live was Shad go in, and I know you were there. I was happy to see you come out with his wife and son. What was your reaction when you found out he was being inducted?
I got a text from his wife.
Yeah.
Um, and this was before they announced it to anybody. I think it was maybe like 2 weeks. And I was happy. I was excited because the year before that, I know everybody wanted Shad to be inducted, and it was a big thing. But that year, I believe it was Titus, and it was in his hometown, and everybody thought it was fitting that it should be Shad. And I didn't I wasn't upset or again, and at the end of the day, in the entertainment industry, it's all business at the end of the day, and it was in Titus's hometown. That was fitting for him. They already made plans for Titus get that award. So in Dallas, that was Shad's time to shine, and
Yeah,
I'm glad it went down the way it did.
yeah. The
It was
crowd
good. It was good.
was.
It was good. Obviously, I watched it on TV because I wasn't there, but yeah,
Yeah,
it was good. I stayed
yeah,
up to watch that as well. You were lucky. I stayed up for that one. No,
yeah. That's like
yeah,
3 a.m. your time.
four
Jeez,
a.m.
four.
4 a.m.
Oh,
it
4
was.
a.m.
Yeah,
4
4
a.m.
a.m.
Yeah.
Yeah, 4 a.m. my time it was. So yeah, that was
I don't think anybody stayed up till 4 a.m. This year to watch it. Who got in? Who got
Uh,
inducted?
I was
It wasn't
there,
as
so
what was
it
it?
was
It
Stacy,
was.
Andy Kaufman. Who's the third one? Who's the
Oh
third one?
God, I
Oh God,
forgot.
Tim White, Rey Mysterio, and there's a third one I'm forgetting. I was there. How do I
okay.
not know this?
I don't
Oh, it's
know.
gonna bother me.
I can't remember
Okay.
what it was. Hang on.
Yeah, you get on that. But yeah, the crowd was so into Shad getting in, and rightfully so, of course. It was a fantastic moment, and like you said, they were just backed up a year, and I mean,
It was a great move to.
ideally, Shad would have went in when that happened, but I mean,
It was
you know.
it was a great move to the other one.
Oh yeah, his speech was so short. That's why.
Who's short?
Yeah,
Who's super short?
Great Muda.
Okay, okay, okay.
Yeah. I remember he was in and out, and I was like, all right, I respect it.
Wow. I wonder
My
if it
man
was
was,
because of time or he just didn't want to be up there.
yeah,
It had to be a time issue.
maybe both,
Mhm.
because they let Stacy go a while. They let the other guys go a while. I just think he didn't want to. I think he was just in and out and said, okay, and I respect it.
I just want my ring, my
All
Hall
right.
of Fame ring. And get out of here.
Yeah, yeah, just get me in, get me out. I'm good. Now, yeah, so Shad being inducted, because I remember being at work and they announced it, and I was like, good. This is what they had to do, and rightfully so. And yeah, everyone was so into it. And now, my favorite Crime Time moment, I want to say it was Royal Rumble 2009? Question mark.
2009. Okay, 3 years in
Okay, you
WWE.
both. I think it was 2009. I could be wrong on the years. I'm not sure. You both come out. Shad is about to charge the ring, and you're like, "Whoa, whoa, whoa, whoa." You
Okay.
pull out a,
Yeah.
you pull out a coin. You flip it. You call it. You're like, "All right, man." And then as you're like halfway, 3/4 of the way down the ring, he shows the coin to the camera, and he's like, And I remember I was 13 and I started cracking up hysterically. I thought I thought that was the most hilarious thing, and it's still like it's one of my favorite moments because just you see him like the wheels are turning in his head, he's
Uh-huh.
turning it, and then he's like, "Oh, he got me." I believe that
Thank
was
you.
2009. Was that?
I, I'm not sure about the year. I'm not sure about the
Hmm.
year.
I know you. I think you entered at number 9. I'm
But
pretty sure. I
but
don't.
that year,
Yeah,
Shaq played a good poker face because
yeah.
he was pissed he wasn't in the Rumble. You know
Really?
that's that's a goal in being a WWE
Yeah.
superstar, not just not even just winning it. Just being a part of history, being a part of the Royal Rumble, and then with that list that year, um, they only decided to put one of us. But I'm
Yeah.
glad they put it. They did it in a cool way, and you just didn't see me run out without
Yeah.
Shaq. Or there was some
Yeah.
stories or some. They also made Shaq a part of it.
Yeah.
Part
You
of
got
it.
one over on Shad.
Yeah,
Yeah, yeah. 2009. It says you came out at number 9 and got eliminated by Taker. 12 minutes you were in
that's
there.
the way you got to go. Take her.
Yeah, yeah. I mean, yeah. I mean, 12. Yeah, just
Anybody
under
could
12
eliminate
minutes.
you.
Yeah, I mean, well, 12 minutes in the Rumble, but yeah. So Shad never did get in a Rumble. Yeah,
No,
that's
no.
yeah, man. That's a bummer. Oh, yeah. That's upsetting, man. Oh, so yeah. So kind of going back to the Vince thing. Are there any stories that like m- people may not know or that you've interacted with him? And I've heard so many different stories, but like to get it
Oh,
from
I
firsthand
will tell you
knowledge.
a story with Vince.
Okay.
I was, you know what? This is some exclusive. This is some exclusive news right here. So I did put a story. I did put a story
I'm listening.
in my book
Okay.
about with Vince. And when I got the book, it was so much going on, with doing podcasts. It was a chapter didn't make it to the book, and it was a slightly overlooked. And I was just so excited with the success of the book. Um, I forgot. I forgot to. I just said whatever. I'll put it in the next book. It hasn't been in the next book. But here's a Vince McMahon story. So
Okay.
I'm standing in front of the hotel, and I was rooming with Dolph Ziggler at the time.
Okay.
So that weekend we rode together, and on Monday we were going to the arena for Monday Night Raw. So Dolph rented the car. So he went to get the
Okay.
car. He left me downstairs in front of the hotel to go to the arena. So I'm there dressed up. I got my bags and Dolph Ziggler's bags. I'm standing there waiting for Dolph to pull up so we could go to the arena. I'm standing there, and a long stretch limo pulls up in front of me in front of the hotel. I got all the bags. The the window rolls down. It's Vince McMahon. Even though I work for Vince McMahon, I'm still blown away that I work for Vince McMahon and that
Yeah.
I still get to interact with him. He rolls the window down. Still has that it factor. Even as an employee, you work for him. He still has that it factor. He rolled the window down. He was
Yeah.
like, "We're going to the same place." And I laughed it off because we go to the arena. And he's like, "You need a ride?" And I'm like, and then it's not just Vince in the limo. It's Vince, it's assistant, the
Yeah.
office, writers and stuff like that. And I'm looking at him and I'm like, oh, I couldn't too much information. My brain couldn't process it because I got Dolph Ziggler's bags with me.
Yeah.
I do want to jump in the car with him. Did Vince just invite me into the limo? Like, oh my gosh. And then I think I'll just take to him I got to ride. I'm riding with Ziggler. That's like the first thing that came out of my mouth. And then it was like Vince looked at me and he's like, okay, Vince, this Dolph Ziggler guy must be really over. All right, I see you at the arena. And he drives off. And I'm there like, what the fuck just happened? Did I just turn down Vince McMahon? But because I had Dolph Ziggler's bags, it's like, do I take him with me? Do I leave him there? It was like there was just so much go. It just happened so fast. Then Dolph Ziggler pulls up, and I'm telling him the story, and he was like, "Damn, buddy. Well, if it was you, I wouldn't have done it. I would have left your bags there. But thanks, man. I know you're a friend." And I'm like, "Oh my gosh." Dolph got that big push. There you go.
That's true. That's true. Yeah. Now, like, now, like, how funny would that be? Like, Dolph pulls the car around, you're gone, the bags are gone, and he's like,
Well, I probably would have still been. I probably would have not had to pick up that phone that day on June 14th. I had got that limo probably.
and Dolph's like, hey, where you at? And you're like, oh, I'm in the limo with Vince. You're what? Like,
I
can
think
only
you would have
imagine.
understood. Looking back,
Yeah. But at first, when you hear, oh, I'm in the limo with Vince, huh? You're like, did he say that one? I just think he said that.
yeah, I'll call you back later.
That's hysterical. Oh my goodness. Oh my goodness. The Vince McMahon stories are just so insane. But the fact that he pulls up going to the same place, like what?
Need a ride? I'm like,
I think my favorite Vince stories are when he fights the guys. Like the guys challenge him to a fight, and Vince.
oh
like,
yeah, I heard some of those airplane stories. Yeah,
Kofi was one of them. Jericho egged him on. Kofi fought.
I was on two. How many times did I go to the Middle East for the troops? I believe. Yeah, I think I only went twice, and it wasn't as bad as the stories I've heard. But yeah, it got a little rowdy. My first trip. Yeah,
That's insane. Well, like little side story about Vince. My one buddy, he's from Texas. I went to Mania with him in 2022, and his wife, she's like, "Oh, I just got out of the elevator with some famous wrestling guy." He's like, "Well, who is it?" And she's like, "Hold on, I gotta ask his name." And she writes back, "Vince McMahon," and he's like, "What?" She's like, "Do you know who that is?" And he's like, "Yeah." He like owns the company. She's like, "Oh, really? He was a nice guy."
he was a nice guy.
My buddy's like, "What?"
Did you get a
he's
picture?
like, no, she had no idea who he was.
Yeah, no
like they
idea.
just chatted a little, and somebody was like, "Oh, he's a very famous wrestling guy." And I'm like, "What?" He said, "He's like, I'll still never forgive her to this day." I was like, "That's incredible!" Oh my goodness!
Ignorance is bliss.
Yeah. Like, oh man, but yeah, Crime Time. Now, when did you guys debut? Was that 05?
06.
Okay, I
Yeah.
started yeah.
I got signed in June of 2006, and we made the trailer started the Crime Time trailer started airing in around October, I believe.
Okay. Yeah, I remember those. Yeah.
And then we debuted in November. Was it? When did we debut?
Okay.
Or did we debut in October?
Well, y'all kind of did Lita dirty on the way out. I remember that. Remember?
That was November, November.
That was
Okay,
Survivor
yeah.
Series. Was that the
So we
same
probably
year?
debuted in September, October, somewhere around there.
Yeah, I think that was Survivor Series 06 with the Lita thing.
Yes,
I think.
yes.
Yeah, because that was my first full year watching, and you guys were hysterical. Just
Oh, we were having
cheating
fun,
any way
man.
you could.
We were having fun, and they were paying us, and that's exactly what Vince McMahon said to us in our first meeting with him. The first time I went to I got invited to Raw. That was my first time interacting backstage with WWE, and we had our first meeting with Vince, and you already know I was already nervous. First time meeting Vince, watching him since I was 2-3 years old, like since I was a child, and that was a great meeting, and that's what he said. He was like, "You guys are gonna pretty have fun, steal from Whitey, and get paid for it. Just have fun. You get money here." I'm like, "Okay." When the boss tells you that, you're on cloud 9.
Yeah, like all right, let's just go. Like no. Oh man, yeah. I mean, yeah, because like that was my first full year watching. You guys were just hysterical. And then the Survivor Series thing with Lita, I was just like, even at 10, I was 10. Yeah, I was 10. I'm like, huh, that's interesting. And obviously, I didn't understand.
You could never get away with that today.
No. But in my 10-year-old brain, I'm like, obviously, I didn't know she was like retiring. Yeah. I didn't put that together. But I'm like, it's kind of weird that they did that. I'm like, huh. And then, years later it comes together.
Yeah,
But I was like,
yeah, we got a lot of shoot heat for that. It was like
Yeah.
from leaders, diehard fans. I still get like DMs from leaders fans like, I can't believe what you did. She didn't deserve that, and you used her retirement to step in. So I was like, I just worked there. I didn't
Yeah.
I didn't write. I was just making the best out of a situation. We just walked into
Yeah.
the building one day, and they're like, "This is what you got to do. Make it work." Okay, damn. Is Lito okay with this? That's exactly what Shad said. And they told us what we were doing. We're like, whoa. Okay, is you okay with this?
Yeah, it's like, but like, tell the people like, yo, it's been 17 years. I just,
It was 17 years. It wasn't our.
Yeah.
We made the best.
it's like,
That's a gift that Shad and I had. They'll come with us with ridiculous ideas, and we made the best out of it. I think that's why Vince liked us a lot, because when you work for WWE, you have to like shed your ego a lot, because you're not that person. You're a character. Some people, when they blend the two, they don't want to. They want to always look good all the time. It's like, no, you have to go there, have fun, make fun of yourself, and give the people just entertain them.
That's why Santino got
I love
that. Or the almost moments he did, because to 2011 Rumble, Del Rio celebrating, and I'm 14 at this point, and I'm just like, Del Rio of all people, and then I see Santino pop up, and I'm like,
I worked for. I was with the company. I thought that Santino was gonna win. We're all standing there backstage. We're like, oh, they might give it to. They might do it.
Because in my head, I'm like, Santino. I'm like, Santino, sure.
Yeah.
Why not? Okay. He pops up from behind, and I'm like, huh. I'm like, I'm for it. I love Santino, and then he almost won the world title. He should have won the world title at least once. He almost beat Bryan. Yeah.
But his daughter's gonna do it for him. His daughter's gonna do it because she's training now, and she's doing. She looks amazing. I've seen her. She was going to OVW when Santino was going to OVW. She'll come to visit and she practice with him, and she watched us do promo classes. Like I'm so proud of Santino, and I know he's happy seeing his daughter finish off his dream.
Yeah, that's cool. Yeah, for sure. Yeah, Santino, man, what a guy. Now I want to ask you a little bit about the schedule of WWE. How brutal was it?
When I got signed, I was 21 years old. And the schedule then was crazy. The schedule, let's say when I first started, my first loop, it was a Friday show I had to go to, a house event, live event on Friday, Saturday live event, Sunday live event, and then Monday Night Raw was on Monday. And then I believe they were filming SmackDown on Tuesday because it wasn't live, but not all talent had to go. Yeah, they was filming SmackDown and ECW on Tuesday, so some talent had to go on Tuesday. They had 5 days on the road. So some days
they do that now.
Sometimes Chad and I had to go to SmackDown and ECW when we first started, but it was like 5 days on the road. But at 21, I could do it. I could do it. Now I couldn't imagine being just 5 days on the road, and then being on the West Coast. If the show's on the East Coast, that means you have to leave the day, get on a red eye. That means you only have like a day and a half at home with your kids and family. If that's but that was a crazy schedule back then. But back then I was single. 21, and man, I had a blast.
Enjoying life. You're seeing the world. Man. I can't remember who said it. I think it was the Iconics, Cassie Lee and Jessica McKay. I think they said they were on the road 5 days a week, and then they would get home for a day and a half, and then
Yep.
And then Neville, aka Pac from AEW, he would do 5 days on the road, but then they would have him stay the sixth day to do 205 Live.
Yeah, they were fucking with him, man.
and Enzo confirmed this. Enzo was like, me and Pac were good friends, and Pac just had enough and walked out of our match walked out before our match. And he was like, I don't blame you one bit. And they were like, hey, backstage, they're like, hey, Enzo, where's Pac? Or where's Neville? And he's like, he left. And they were like, he left? What do you mean he left? They're like, yeah, he left. like hours ago. I don't, like
Oh,
I don't
yeah,
know
I
what
was
you
a
want me to
straw.
do, but yeah,
I was a
but
straw.
because
You
they
see,
kept telling
yeah,
me,
no, he did the right. He walked out. I just stayed
yeah,
in the locker room and just chilled.
yeah,
Just chilled. Maybe
yeah.
I should have walked out, man.
Yeah, they kept messing with him. They were like, "We're gonna change it. We're gonna change it." It was months, and he's like, "Dude, I can't do this." Again, I can't blame him. I I got off the plane in California for WrestleMania weekend, and
Hmm.
I was tired. And
He was
in my
spent.
head, yeah, and in my
He
head, I'm
wasn't even
like,
performing.
I don't know how these guys do it. Like, I don't know how many planes they get on a week. At least one for sure.
Oh,
But like,
absolutely.
yeah,
I got
but
a
like,
I got a kind of a WWE schedule this weekend. I have two shows this weekend. One is in Oakland, and then I have to travel to Montana. But I don't have any TV, so that's good. I got just two live events, and I
yeah,
get to come
you could just
home.
show up whenever. Yeah, that's good. Oakland. You have any Jersey meet and greet scheduled or shows? New Jersey?
I think I just came back from the East Coast not too long ago, but
Okay.
I probably do have something on my schedule. I don't even look at dates
You just
anymore.
go.
I
Yeah.
just go. Yeah, the week up, I
I
look
don't
at my
blame you.
travel, and I'm like, oh yeah, okay.
Yeah. Because a couple of my buddies met you in Dallas, and I didn't get the chance, but I would definitely love to meet you in person, man. Yeah.
Okay,
They
man.
they
Where are you?
they said
You're in Jersey?
yeah, New Jersey. Yeah,
Okay.
yeah, yeah, yeah. They said you were a great time for sure, and I
Thank
was like,
you.
yeah, I see why for sure. I was like, yeah, but yeah, the schedule, man. It's just like I got off that plane and I'm like, I don't know how they do it. Like truthfully, I don't. I could never. I could never. Like,
And then you get used to it between land. Like I give you see if I can give you a visual description of when you land your first day there. I land. I wait for Shad to land there, maybe because we're a tag team. We want to do everything together. So if I
of
land, I
course.
might get there 2 hours before, or he gets there 2 hours before. He waits for me. We go get the rental together. Then we try to look for a gym before we find a gym. Then we try to get food because we just land. We just got into town to get something to eat before we go to the gym. Something small, get something to eat. Then we go to the gym. We try to finesse the person at the front desk to let us in because we don't want to pay. So after some verbal exchange and maybe offering him maybe 2 tickets for his friends and family, they let us in for free. We go work out. After we work out, all right, now we have to find a room for tonight. Is depending if we're staying in that town or if we're gonna drive uh, that night. Depending on the town, if it's a party town, if it's a cool town, we might stay that night. But if it's a whack town, yeah, we could just drive on, drive on after the show. So after the workout, shower up, head to the arena, um, go there, meet up, do our thing, blah, blah. And after the show, we try to find something to eat. Usually it's too late and we can't find nothing to eat, and we get some crap. We we drive to the next town, or we stay there and party. And that's just one night, and it's just and then that's just on repeat the whole weekend. Finding hotel rooms, trying to get a good deal on a rental, trying to not have to pay at the gym, trying to save money. All these factors, your brain and then your body, you put through physical expense with your matches and working out on the road too. Yeah.
So the party thing is real, huh? Okay.
Yes. Especially when I was young.
I was at a convention last year, and I met this girl, just talking to her. She goes, "Oh, you like wrestling?" I'm like, "Yeah." She goes, "I used to party with some wrestlers." I'm like, "Oh, who?" And she clearly doesn't know. She goes, "Something. He does something up, down, something." And I'm like,
"Oh, he likes to
Xavier
party,
Woods."
huh?
I was like, "Xavier Woods," and she goes, "Yeah, that's his name." I'm like,
Is that
what?
the same friend I was in the elevator with this man?
Yeah. No. Yeah, no. I'd be like, "Listen, I'm hanging out with you from now on." If it was the same girl, I'd be like, "Listen, okay." But
He
she
didn't
was like,
have
"Yeah."
luck.
She was like, "Yeah, he was nice, and we party with all the other wrestlers." I'm like, where is this? Like, come on. Like,
Yeah, after the show, if we get like when I was with the company, if you heard about a good club or somebody recommended a good club after the show, yeah, why not? Let's go. You go to the hotel. No, not even. Sometimes you take a shower right there at the arena, put your best on, and then go out, have a great time, and wake up at 4:00 in the morning, rushing back to your hotel to put all your stuff back in the bag because you haven't been back to your room since you left, and you're about to miss your flight. Yeah, there's been plenty of nights like that.
Now, have you ever missed a flight during WWE?
I think I missed about maybe one or two flights. I think I've only missed one show because of weather. That's another cool story. That's another cool story if you have time.
I'm for it. Xero? That's
We've got time if you've got time.
This was years ago. I'm trying to Spirits. Kenny was still with the Spirit Squad, or was he? No, I think he just left with the Spirit Squad. I think he was doing his own thing at the time. Yes, we had a layover in Dallas. It was me, Shad, and Kenny. And there was another person who had a layover who was also going to the live event. It was HBK Shawn Michaels. So we were all four there. But the flight got canceled because I think there was like a sandstorm or something in Dallas, and all flights were grounded. So I think Sean called. We were Sean, so he was like, "Oh yeah, they're with me," and he was going to be the middleman. We all didn't have to call. So someone was talking with the office, and we know for a fact that if we weren't with Sean, we would not have gotten the treatment that we got.
Yeah.
Anybody made us drive in the sandstorm to the next town, to the next show. But since we were with Sean, they sent a limo for us with a chauffeur. Took us to a restaurant. They put us up in a 5-star hotel till the next day for the next flight to get to our next show to finish off the rest of the loop. But on that limo ride from Dallas to where we were going the next town, it was a good maybe like 4 or 6 hour drive. So imagine being in a limo with Shawn Michaels for 6 hours with your tag team partner and your other buddy who you came up with in OVW. I'm watching the scene. They were acting like complete marks. Them two in the back there, just asking. And that's what you're supposed to do when you have ask a bunch of questions, you know. But Sean hurt me early in my career, so I didn't ask him any questions, or I just stayed my distance.
That's hysterical. That's great. That's
cool. Yeah, that's
a
good story.
Yeah,
very good story. Yeah.
And if you want to know how Sean hurt me, cheap plug. Yeah, get my book. Damn right, I write this book.
Always keep them guessing. That's I don't blame you one bit. I would love to hear it, but okay. You're a businessman. You did say that. It's a business at the end of the day. That's all the questions I got. Xero, you got anything for our guests?
Yeah. Have you got any is there sort of any dream matches that you still would want to do, or like anyone you would really want to face over, past or future, or anything like that? Really, like ultimate dream match, really. Right.
Oh man, I would have loved Crime Time. So many tag team dream matches. I would have loved for Crime Time to have. Crime Time versus the Usos ladder match. Crime Time versus New Day. Crime Time versus the Street Profits. Even on the indie scene, Crime Time versus the not just the Young Bucks, but damn, my mind is getting a brain fart. Oh man.
FTR?
Them boys. You know what I'm talking about. His brother just passed away. We was working for that match.
The Briscoes.
Briscoe brothers. Yeah, you see? Yeah, but it escaped my mind for a second. Yeah. Oh man, they were just great. It was just great chilling with them behind the scenes. So I know we would have had great chemistry in the ring if we had the opportunity to work with the Briscoes. Crime Time versus the Briscoes. But yeah.
Yeah, that would have been some good matches. That one would have been, yeah. So, yeah.
I just have one more question and then we'll let you go. Hall of Fame. If they come a calling, would you go in WWE?
Yeah, I'll pick up my phone. Why not?
I love that answer. Why not? Now, do you think they would?
I don't know. Shad's already in there, kind of. Not really as a tag team. He's in there as a Warrior Award. So I don't know. What they're thinking is like, oh, we already got Shad in there in the Hall of Fame. we don't have to put crime time. We don't. I don't know. I don't know their thinking. Also, yeah. I don't know. And does it? It wouldn't even. It's not. It's not even going to affect me really personally because it's not really like it's a shoot. Somebody just makes it up in their head who's going to be. There's not a committee. There's not a vote. There's from the community is like somebody. So that's why I don't really take it. If I never get my Hall of Fame ring, is like okay.
Yeah, whatever. Yeah, that's cool. That's a good way to look at it, though.
There's a lot. We could be here for another 20 minutes if we sat here. We came down with a list of people that should be in the Hall of Fame. That's not. We'll be here for another 20 minutes.
Yeah.
And we don't have
that's true. Yeah, that's true. Yeah.
I'll definitely be back on though, man. I'll definitely be back on. Be back on the show.
Yeah. Well, thank you for coming on anyway today. Thank you for agreeing to come on. Is there anything that you want to plug? Like, have you got any matches or anything coming up, or did you want to plug your book again or anything like that? Really, like before we go?
Oh yeah. I always plug the book. First one, damn right I write this book, and the second one, damn right I write this book too. They're both Amazon bestsellers. Just go on my Instagram. Instagram is JTG 121084. And the Twitter is JTG1284. And yeah, follow my journey. I'm living the absolute dream. And getting paid for it. There we go.
I'll shoot my shot right now. I run a YouTube channel myself. It's the name on my thing. Would you come on?
Bobby's Breakdown.
Yeah. Would you come on?
What is it? Yeah, why not? Yeah. What is it about?
I interview wrestlers. I interview anyone pretty much, but I interview wrestlers. Do you know who Alicia Toot is?
Alicia Toot, no.
MLW manager, redhead.
Probably,
I interviewed her.
Probably.
Yeah, probably. I interviewed. Well, I'm going to be interviewing Anthony Andrews. He's of NWA.
Oh, nice. Okay, I should know him.
Yeah, like I'm just a small YouTuber right now, but I'm trying to get my name out there,
I feel you, Bobby. I feel you.
Yeah, I'm just trying to shoot my shot. So if you would come on, be my guest. But if you want to say no, it's completely okay.
No. We look at the calendar. We'll work something out.
Yeah, man. I'll shoot you a message. Where? IG, Twitter?
IG, Twitter, both. Okay. Make sure I get it because I get so many stuff, and then it goes down the list, and I got to keep. Yeah.
All right, I'll send you a message daily if I have to.
No problem.
We'll have to arrange to get you back on another time then as well, won't we?
So good.
Yeah, that's cool. Yeah, well, again, thank you for coming on today. Thank you for agreeing to come on. Actually, that's the thing. So So there's no surprises for Bobby this week. I haven't arranged any of the guests yet. So I won't be surprising Bobby on this week's stream, unfortunately.
Not yet, at least.
Not yet, anyway. Yeah, I'll be arranging one in a minute. So,
yeah.
But no, that's cool. So thank you. So
thank you so much for coming on.
No problem, man. You guys have a good one.
Yeah, you too, man. Have a good one.
Yeah.
All right.
Thank you.
See you later, man. Bye. Wow.
Well, that was a good interview. That was a damn good interview today, wasn't it?
Wow. What a guy. I still can't believe it. I'm marking out right now. I don't care. When you told me JTG was coming on, I'm like, and it still hasn't like when he joined off screen, I'm like, holy moly, it's JTG.
Your reaction, wasn't it? Okay, I'll say this one in a minute because people obviously didn't see it. But when we were just preparing for the show beforehand, literally we were just talking, me and Bobby were, and I just added JTG in, and Bobby's face was just like, wow.
Yeah, I'm like, because it's like he told me he was coming on. But then when he actually shows up, it's like, oh, this is for real. Yeah. Like, wow. And great guy. I mean, I would.
Yeah, he is, yeah. Really
I would love to have him on my channel one day. I would. He's like, we'll check our schedules like ours.
Yeah,
I'm wide open.
There's so many stories in it that he could obviously come up with. So obviously. Well, anyway.
Well, that's what he said. He's like, oh, we'll check our schedules. I'm like, yeah, sure. Even though I'm not wide open all the time, like
Yeah.
We'll roll with that.
So that was a pretty good interview. Anyway, well, I guess then we better talk about a few things then from this week. Then
the draft is completed.
Yes, it is. So let's just put up the image first of all and say so the WWE draft, it is done. So a couple of surprises actually in the draft, I think. For me, like
Yeah.
a few of them.
Here, you go into yours, and if I have different
Well,
ones.
Well, I was going to say, obviously, what I was going to do was I was going to run through the list of obviously who got drafted to where, because I've got them all up here. So I was going to do like
Yeah,
the
and
raw and stuff like that.
I'll just chime in and be like, yeah, that one was. I didn't see that
Yeah.
one coming. Okay. There
Yeah.
you go.
So we might as well start off then. So Raw then. On night one, the following wrestlers got drafted to Raw. So Cody Rhodes. To me, that was expected. Cody was.
Oh yeah, of course.
Becky Lynch. We then had all of Imperium as well. So obviously that's Kaiser, Vinci, and Gunther.
Are we sure though? Because Rob Van Dam read that card upside down.
Yeah. That was funny. That was hilarious. Then we have Matt Riddle, shortly followed by Drew McIntyre.
I did not think Drew would go to Raw. I'm happy.
No,
he
did you not?
I did not think. I thought they were going to keep him on SmackDown to have a big name when Roman would be absent.
But he now he's now got contendership now for the World Heavyweight Championship.
Yes.
If you think
I'm happy. Don't get me wrong. I just did not think it would happen. I'm glad it did. Trust me.
Yeah, and then we then have the Miz. That was expected because the Miz has got a lot to do with USA Network, with his shows and everything like that. So that was expected for me that the Miz would stay on Raw.
Does Miz and Mrs. still run? I don't even.
I think it does. Yeah. Well, it's on like hiatus or whatever at the moment.
I've watched a few episodes. Some of them are funny, but like
yeah.
I mean, bits and pieces, not like any full episodes.
Yeah. That's cool. Yeah. And then we move on to Shinsuke Nakamura. Expected. And then the very first NXT call up onto Raw, which was Indy Hartwell. Obviously, at the time, she was NXT Women's Champion. Obviously, she's not anymore after NXT last night.
That one threw me off because she just won that belt.
Yeah. Well, apparently, this is what people were saying. I might as well bring this one up now. Is Triple H literally had it that he didn't tell anybody. I got told that Shawn Michaels got 24 hours notice, basically.
Wow.
That. So yeah, he literally got 24 hours notice. So that's why he couldn't change anything around, because of course she had just literally won that belt, and that she had obviously retained on the Tuesday beforehand, and then Triple H told Shawn on the Thursday who was, which NXT wrestlers and that were coming on up. So obviously Shawn didn't have any chance to change it or anything.
Yeah, and bummer that she's legit hurt.
It was a good ending though.
It was very well. I'm talking about her match last week.
Oh yeah.
They almost had to change that title on just a moment's notice. Stratton would have won the belt, but Indy somehow, I think Indy was like, I did not come this far to lose this belt like this. No. But then she had to vacate it a week later, and she did vacate it. And now, I'll say it, I'm going to put my prediction out there. Tiffany Stratton, the next NXT Women's Champion.
Yeah, I'm going to say either Tiffany or Cora.
I'm only going to say Tiffany because, did I tell you my reasoning? Or?
You did. I think earlier on it was like because
when Indy was hurt, they were gonna make her champion. So obviously the plans were there at one point. Obviously Indy finished the match. Yeah, but it's either Cora or Stratton for sure.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah, and then we have Maximum Male Models drafted to Raw, all of them. And then I do believe these ones were done on Raw Talk. Yeah, these ones were all done on Raw Talk. So so we then have Dexter Lumis announced, Candice LeRae, the Viking Raiders. That surprised me considering that they just started off that feud with
the OC.
Yeah, with the OC, which have gone to SmackDown. So that's really weird for that one.
I don't.
Apollo Crews, obviously, so he's come back to Raw
he's back,
again.
Baby.
He's back again. Then we then have Chelsea Green, absolute legends. In that character moment that she's doing. Yeah.
Hey, and I met her too. Yeah. She is phenomenal. I will not tell the story on screen, what she said to me, but great person. She could have called me out, but she didn't, so that's good. Nice.
Fair enough. Then her tag team partner at the moment, Sonya Deville. Then we move on to the boat Natalia. She's absolute legend in Natalia there. One of our many supporters. Thank you very much again, Natalia, if you are listening to this. We'll just say that. And then finally, the last two NXT call-ups for Raw for night one, which was Zoe Stark and JD McDonough. Now, those two surprised me. I didn't expect Zoe to come up this quick, or JD really.
I thought Zoe was coming up. There was really nothing left for her to do in NXT. She's been there a while.
Yeah.
But McDonough kind of threw me for a loop, I'll be honest.
Yeah. That as well, yeah. And then we move over to SmackDown side, so we might as well do that. So night one SmackDown then. So we had Paul Heyman, Solo Sikoa, and Roman Reigns now without the Usos. Now that's quite interesting when they obviously announced that at first, that they were obviously leaving the Usos as like separate. There is a reason behind that, and there is a story behind that, which I'll get into later on.
I just want this out there. In 2023, in the history books, Paul Heyman was a first pick in the WWE draft.
Yeah.
That's
2023 has been a good year for Heyman because obviously he's held the title belt, so he's been champion at one point. As we can obviously see here, he's been undisputed
24/7 rules, right? I'm pretty sure.
That was it. So and he wrestled injured. Well, and he was champion as well whilst he was injured. And then obviously number one draft pick. Yeah, it's been quite a year for Paul Heyman. And then we're gonna move on then to the current Raw Women's Champion Bianca Belair. Now, that one I wasn't expecting. I was expecting Bianca to stay on Raw personally.
So. Cheap plug here. In my mock draft that I posted, that's almost at 4,000 views. Please go check it out. Even if you don't want to listen to my voice, just let it play through. I completely get it. I predicted that. Okay, sorry, I'm checking the views right now. It's at 3,957 views. Come on, people. Come on. Just get me to that 4K and I'll stop bothering you. But I predicted Bianca would switch, Rhea would switch, Gunther would switch, Theory would switch.
Yeah.
And I got that right.
Fair enough.
So go check out that video. I don't want to post it again, but we're making it there.
No.
We're on our way there.
Yeah. And then then after that it obviously then makes sense then because we then have the Street Profits drafted to SmackDown.
Somebody made a joke. They were like, if WWE really wanted to mess with the fans, they would have had just Montez Ford get drafted to SmackDown on night one.
Yeah.
And then on night two, they'll be like, and SmackDown selects Angelo Dawkins. And they're like, wait a minute. Like, just to mess with people. Like, Ford's finally going to be a solo act. No.
And just undo that way. Yeah, they should have done that one. Yeah. And then
that would be hilarious.
Yeah. And then a shocker for me, Edge got drafted back to SmackDown.
Yeah.
I did not expect that one at all for it. So
he said he's got like a year left at the level he's working at. So
maybe
he'll sign a 1-year extension.
Yeah, I mean maybe on for that one. And then we have Bobby Lashley drafted to SmackDown as well.
That one threw me off too.
That one did, yeah. I was not.
Has he ever been on SmackDown in his career?
He's done a couple of appearances, but I don't think he's ever been drafted to SmackDown.
I think the early days of his career, like 05, 06, 07, he was SmackDown. But ever since he's come back, I think he's been Raw.
Yeah, he has, yeah, he has.
Interesting.
Yeah, definitely, yeah. So that's that one was very interesting when that one came up. And then we have the OC with obviously a returning AJ Styles, which returned at night. So that's Styles, Gallows, Anderson, and me.
That night, I had Twitter notifications turned off, so I had no idea AJ was back. I just see him come out with his hood down, and I'm like, AJ? Cool, great.
Yeah. Years back, yeah. Yeah, and then we move on. Then we have then all of Damage Control. Then so that's Bailey, Dakota Kai, and Io Sky. Got drafted over. And then for the last televised one, again, which was kind of a surprise one, the NXT Women's Tag Team Champions, Alba Fire and Isla Dawn. Now,
Yeah.
again, they've only recently won that belt. They've only recently won those belts, haven't they? So that's, yeah.
That, when their name was announced, I was like, wait, really? And then my thinking was, then I saw Katana and Kaden challenge them. I said, oh, okay.
They're going to swap them, aren't they?
I was like, oh, Katana and Kaden are just going to take the belts back. Easy peasy.
Yeah.
Well, not so much.
Yeah. So, but no, well, we'll get on to that one in a bit. Yeah, and then on the, and afterwards, then it was then announced then that Hit Row and Lacey Evans had been drafted to SmackDown as well.
Top dollar, my boy.
Yeah. And then we move on then to night 2. Now, the number 1 draft pick of night 2 was the SmackDown Women's Champion Rhea Ripley. That was surprising again, like I said, because I did not expect her and Bianca to swap. I thought they were going to stay on the same brands, considering Rhea's only recently won that title at WrestleMania as well. Especially if they end up doing like a title swap or some of that.
So my thinking was with this draft, I said Bianca, she needs a change of pace. She needs new opponents. Yeah. And by default, that would switch Ripley. So that was my thinking there.
I mean, this thing is, and I'll say this, everyone believes there's going to be a title swap over. From what I've been told, there's new title belts there because the new women's title belt was I should say, were actually at Raw. They were backstage at Raw.
Wait, women's world title or women's tag?
Women's world title.
So they're not going to have Bianca and Rhea exchange belts
no, they're just going to give them new belts. It's brand new titles. Good. Basically, the way that I've been told about it, because I've got a description of the belts which I put out. Basically, it's similar to the world title. So the one which Roman's holding, the black one, and the universal one. It's similar to that. However, it's white. So it's on a white strap, and I believe it's got a white background on it. And that, and then just a W, but it's a smaller version of it. So it's kind of like the obviously where AEW's got that smaller women's title. It's like a smaller version of the world title, basically, but just for the women's. So that's going to be the new ones there. And I do believe, if I remember rightly, is Raw is getting the WWE World Women's Championship. That's what that one's going to be called. So they're going to be getting the World Champion. Yeah, because of course. But if you think about it, where Raw's getting the World Heavyweight title, they're dropping the Raw name. They're dropping the Raw and SmackDown name from the titles. So they're going to be getting the Women's World Championship on Raw. And then SmackDown will be getting the Women's WWE title. For it. So that's how they're going to do it, basically. So they're going to be renaming them and everything like that as well. That was a bit of a plug there for the new titles. We then move on then to Seth Rollins, got drafted to Monday Night Raw. Monday Night Raw. Yeah, that was expected because of Becky. However, he could still change brands. Watch out for trades. There is still trades going on, and finally, there's going to be a few more call-ups from NXT, I know, and there's also going to be trades all the way up to Night of Champions. So,
Roman Reigns traded to Raw. Then we're traded right back to SmackDown.
Maybe not. And then we have the undisputed WWE Tag Team Champions Kevin Owens and Sami Zayn. Now, I'll go into this again because people were asking. They're splitting the titles. The titles are being split. That's how they're going to do it. SmackDown will have their own title belts back soon. Again, they're having a rename, so they're going to have the World Tag Team Championships and then the WWE Tag Team Championships, basically. So they're going to end up splitting those titles again for it. I'll quickly go through these. So we've then got the Judgment Day then to Raw, Liv Morgan and Raquel Rodriguez. The New Day, obviously minus Biggie at the moment because he is still injured. Trish Stratus, and then we then have Shayna Baszler and Ronda Rousey. They're taking those women's title belts. I'll drop that one. Strowman and Ricochet, followed by Bronson Reed, and then Otis and Chad Gable. And then, this is then where it gets interesting, is then they call Katana Chance and Kaden Carter up, which obviously we thought that they were going to be winning those title belts. So everyone was like, oh, okay. So now nobody's won the NXT women's tag team championship at the moment. So the current NXT tag team championships are on SmackDown as of next Monday. It'll be
the
roster's officially
so like I said, I saw Alba Fire and Isla Dawn get drafted, and then Katana and Kaden challenged, and I was like, okay, that's the easy way to get the belts back on NXT. That just win the belts back.
Yeah.
And then Kaden and Katana got drafted, and I got confused.
Yeah.
Very confused.
Yeah. I was like, okay.
I don't know what they're going to do there.
No. Unless they're just going to relinquish them, they might have to relinquish. Well, they'll work both shows for a little bit of time. For a little bit of time, they'll work both shows until they drop them. That's the easiest way of doing it. That's how they do it, basically. And then we move on then to this was after the show. So again, I can't remember how they've done it. I think these ones were done on night 2. It was done on SmackDown Lowdown actually on Saturday morning.
When did that become a thing?
That's been a thing for quite a while. You know, they used to do Talking Smack. This is basically the replacement to Talking Smack.
Did it just come back recently? Because
it's just come back recently. Yeah, so it was off air for a little bit when Renee left the company, and then they brought it back basically with a couple of others who do it now. So, so on SmackDown Lowdown, and then announced Johnny Gargano to Raw, Dana Brooke, Nikki Cross, Angel Garza, Humberto, Akira Tozawa, Piper Nivens, Xia Li, Tegan Knox, Riddick Moss, and Emma. Obviously, Madcap has got his name back.
He's Riddick Moss again. That's cool. I like it.
He's Riddick Moss again. And then we have Indus Sherrill, and of course that means that Veer is coming once again. All those promo graphics. And Jinder Mahal is back on Raw. That's going to be quite funny.
He's with them? Okay. I didn't know that, actually.
Yeah, Jinder's with them. And then Odyssey Jones, another one from NXT, which I did not expect at all.
Yeah. I was like,
Yeah, that was quite shocking for that one, actually. And then we move on then to night 2 for SmackDown. So number 1 draft pick for SmackDown on night 2 was Austin Theory. Obviously, your boy, Austin Theory. So that means then the US
scenery over there. I like it.
Yeah, well, that means the United States Championship is now on SmackDown. So that'll be new challenges there. Charlotte Flair, she's just returning to SmackDown. She's basically going to be practicing SmackDown now for quite a while.
When is she? Okay.
She's on hiatus at the moment, isn't she? So
she was on hiatus, then she came back, then she went on hiatus again.
Yeah. And then we have the Usos drafted to SmackDown. Now, I'm going to say this. Don't be expecting them to stay. Do not be expecting them to stay on SmackDown. Now, I'll drop a little bit of a spoiler thing here. I teased it the other day, and it's happening. Paul Heyman obviously stated that Roman Reigns is on SmackDown a week this Friday. So the one obviously after Backlash.
A week from tomorrow. Or I'm sorry, a week from Friday.
Yeah, a week from Friday. And he will be addressing the Usos now. Bit of a spoiler here. So if anyone doesn't want to know this, close off now and then come back in about 2 minutes. But
I'm going to leave real quick.
All right, okay. But the Usos are going to be getting banished to Raw by Roman. Roman is going to get the Usos banished to Raw because of the losses, basically. and then the Usos are in for a face turn, so they're going back to the Uso penitentiary thingy. It'd be sort of like that where they were faces there. So they'll be after a couple of feuds and stuff like that, and a couple of back and forths and that, they are going to be turning back to face Usos, which is pretty good. So the bloodline is almost done. But people say that, but what they've got to remember is Solo and the twins are not the only bloodline members out there that are available. There is other bloodline members out in the wrestling world on the indie scene
multiplying
and well, the current hiring freeze will be over come about August, September time once the company sells, and then expect a lot of people in. And of course, there's Jacob in MLW. There's a couple of others as well, and a lot of them want to come in and join in the bloodline storyline. So there'll be a lot more. There'll be a lot more to add to it. So yeah, there's a lot more brothers out there to add to it.
They just keep multiplying.
Yeah, they do. And then we move on then. So we've then got the LWO with Rey Mysterio. So obviously Rey Mysterio is now officially part of LWO, as we know. And he obviously got drafted with them. Oscar then comes over from Raw to SmackDown. We then have the Brawling Brutes, so that's Sheamus, Ridge Holland, and Butch, or coming soon, Pete Dunne again. Yeah, Pete Dunne again. We then have Karrion Kross and Scarlett. Now, I seen quite a funny joke today. Did you see the thing that USA Network put out?
No.
No. Basically, after they announced that Karrion Kross was joining SmackDown, the USA Network Twitter account, they jumped on there and they were like, "It's such a shame that we didn't get Karrion Kross, but then again, it's a good thing because last time there was a gimp mask involved."
Tweeted that?
Yeah. They told us, last time when he was on,
oh my
god! I was like, oh god! I was literally laughing my head off.
I'm gonna have to look at that.
Yeah, I think they edited it in the end and removed the gimp bit, but it was there was a mask involved last time, so yeah, they edited the tweet on it. You could tell that, and because I've seen the original, from it.
I'll look for
it. Yeah, and then LA Knight then got drafted as well to SmackDown. Now, people are saying, "Oh, he's on SmackDown. He's not going to be winning Money in the Bank." He is winning Money in the Bank. I will address this. He's down. He's down
as McIntyre.
He doesn't need it because he'll be feuding with him anyway. Actually, talking about McIntyre, I will bring this one up. McIntyre is going to be turning heel, providing that he agrees to a providing that he agree. Well, this is the thing. If he signs a new contract, and this is what they've got held over him, if he signs a new contract, he gets a heel turn, and he'll also be holding that new title belt at some point. But they've said, but he only gets that if he signs a new contract.
All right.
So yeah.
So USA Network bummed, but to be fair, last time Cross was here, there was a helmet involved, so it's probably for the best.
Yeah.
For now.
Yeah. So
the USA Network was like, "This is so stupid."
Yeah. But no, yeah, they edited that tweet because the original one was last time he was here. There was a gimp mask involved, so
it said gimp.
It said gimp at one point. They've obviously edited that.
Let me see if there's somebody called the original version.
Yeah. I think they might have properly fully deleted it and done it, but I seen it earlier on. I was meant to get a screenshot of it, but I couldn't get it in time.
Let's see. Yeah, keep going.
And then on, I believe this was on Talking Smack. Then we then have Shotzi gets drafted to. Oh no, this was on TV still. We then have Shotzi drafted to SmackDown, and then the last one of the night on TV. Then we then have Elton Prince and Kit Wilson, Pretty Deadly from NXT.
I got some thoughts on that.
So, yes, boys.
How? I'm going to spoil this a little, but not really. How do Pretty Deadly get their names called on TV, and Grayson Waller does not?
Yeah. Somebody
Somebody help me understand this.
Yeah, but to be fair, when they announced him, did you see what he done when they announced Waller?
Yeah, of course.
Yeah, he drank out the shoe.
The Australian way, I still think it's disgusting, but I'm sure there are things we do that Australians think are disgusting. So fair,
Yeah.
I wouldn't do it, but hey,
No.
Yeah.
Well, we might as well say that one then. Yeah, so Grayson Waller then comes up to SmackDown as well. We then also have Rick Boogs announced, Cameron Grimes, and Tamina. So Tamina just seems to just be floating at this point. She's literally she goes SmackDown, then Raw, and SmackDown, and everything like that. So yeah, she's been all over the place.
She's the true oh yeah, she's still with the company.
but this is the thing as well. If you think about it, originally Naomi or Trinity now was meant to be joining the Bloodline. Now, is this the way that they get Tamina back on TV quite a lot, by having her as a female member of the Bloodline? So then they can then have feuds then with like the LWL and stuff like that, because then of course then they can then do Tamina versus Selena and stuff like that, really, and ones like that. Or heck, Tamina could win a championship and then bring that into the Bloodline side of things, and that there's options there. And then there's a couple of free agents that they have. So Omos, which a good storyline behind that one, because of course MVP has managed to secure that Omos can now work both brands going forwards.
Yeah,
so,
I don't know why, but it's good for me because I have MVP in my league. So
and then obviously MVP as well with him, and then we then have Ziggler. He's a free agent, and Mustafa Ali. Now I know that those two have requested their release. Now they haven't got it, so I wonder whether Ziggler requested it. Yeah, he wants to hang his boots up.
Where was this years ago?
No, he wants to.
Wasn't he supposed to get out of the company after he jobbed at Goldberg? Yeah,
but no, he. That
was 2019.
He wants to hang the boots up, I'm told. So he's.
Really?
Yeah.
Well, I mean, he's not. He is 40 plus. Not that I'm saying that's old, but like some dudes do want to get out in their 40s, and hey,
yeah. So but no. So he's that's just the thing. Obviously, that's not 100% confirmed, but he's asked for his release. So, and then we move on. So Von Wagner, that was another one, surprisingly, that he's not been drafted. Brock Lesnar, but he can appear on both shows. That was announced before Raw.
Of course.
Brock can just show up anywhere. Baron Corbin, and then we've got Shelton Benjamin, Cedric Alexander, Elias, and Zion Quinn. That was a really random one. Quinn, to be called up and then free agency. Well, this is the thing. He got called up and he hasn't been assigned a brand.
Yeah, he got called up and he's just a free agent.
Yeah, but so there's clarification here, because people have been asking, and I said I'll bring it up on air, is all those free agents will be assigned to a brand automatically. Obviously, except from Omos and Brock Lesnar, they're all going to be assigned to a brand on Raw, basically, next week. So on the 8th, they're going to be assigned to a brand by management. So apparently they don't even know where they're going yet. They'll get told a couple of days before, which is typical. So so that was a draft. A couple of them surprised. That's what we said. But otherwise it was a pretty average draft. There's nothing really to shout home about, really. And that it wasn't. No. They're saying they were going to change the game, and to me, the game hasn't been changed.
Yeah, not really. They just changed some, rules in the game. That's about it.
Yeah, they just changed the rules. It's just, it's just going to be, going to be ridiculous for it. So, one small thing I will say whilst I'm on here, this might piss a few people off, but it also might make a couple of people happy. This weekend, who have you got for Brock Cody? Brock, yeah. Because that promo...
Cody wins in Saudi.
Well, this is the thing.
That's my thinking.
Yeah, well, this is the thing is, obviously Cody to me said that if if he loses to Brock Lesnar, he goes right to the back of the line for all title shots and he's not allowed to win Money in the Bank or anything like that either. Now, from what I've been told, and this is a bit of a spoiler, is it's going to be a squash. Basically, Cody is going to get squashed at Backlash by Lesnar. Lesnar's going to completely squash him, destroy him and everything like that. So Cody has to go to the back of the line and build his way back up to that championship match for it. So once he gets squashed, he won't have any title opportunities. He won't get in Money in the Bank or anything like that. So that will then clarify that. Come this Saturday at Backlash, everyone will then know that Cody is not in for any contendership of any title ship, of any champions this year or anything like that. And
we did it, boys.
Yeah. Because the end goal is basically going to be to get his momentum back up, and they want him to do a full year of doing that. Now, a little bit of information, I will put this one out here because I wanted to bring this one up as well. There's a few people wasn't understanding this, and this is a bit of insider information. Basically, Cody knew going into Mania that he 100% was not winning. Now, it wasn't because they want to keep the belts on. There was rumors and stories going around to say that it was all Vince and everything like that, and and stuff like that. But it wasn't. The truth behind it was with this Endeavor deal. Endeavor basically, when they knew they were taking over the company, Endeavor basically turned around and said, "We do not think Cody Rhodes is the face of the company." Basically, they turned around and said, "We've got a champion there. We've got Roman Reigns. We've got Roman Reigns as champion, and that we want Roman Reigns to carry the brand for at least a year or two, basically, to get us a head start into it. Get the merch sales in, get us the money in and that as champion for it." So it's not Vince, it's not Triple H's decision. That came directly from the top. That came from the CEO of Endeavor. Basically, they turned around and said, "Nope, we don't want Cody winning. We don't believe Cody's ready enough now. We want him to prove himself to us for it." Because as they've turned around and said, Roman is the name. Roman is the name at the moment for WWE, and that all they know of is that Cody came from a rival brand. He came in, and as I've been saying all along, he came in. He came back at WrestleMania last year, had a couple of matches with Seth Rollins, got injured, took 8 months out. Basically, came back in, won the Royal Rumble from number 30, and in their eyes, he hasn't deserved it. He doesn't deserve it. He hasn't, he hasn't earned the right to be the face of the company. So that is why they're not, that is why Endeavor literally turned around and said no. They put their foot down on that, and they made that decision. It was an Endeavor decision. They were like, "No, we're not. We don't want Cody holding those belts at all." And that at the moment. Now, I mean, it could come in time, obviously, when it comes to it. But for the moment, at least until WrestleMania 40, Cody Rhodes will not be holding those championship belts, and Roman Reigns will continue to be the number one champion.
Did you see me celebrating?
Yeah, I did. Yeah.
Doing the Santino,
Yeah. Now, talking about that, we were actually discussing this off air as well. Is the company want Roman to beat Hulk Hogan's record at least, which is going to be September 2024. I was saying as well beforehand is there was some talks that originally Vince wanted Roman to go and beat Bruno's record and literally smash it out of the park. Now,
smash it out of the park.
Well, it's the thing. Yeah, I didn't tell you this bit. Vince's original plan was Roman to hold those belts for 10 years to completely smash Bruno's record out of the park, so nobody can ever beat it. Basically, now
no from me, dog.
I still think he's going to go partly for Bruno's, even if it's halfway to Bruno's or whatever. Even if they get into 2025 for it, because obviously this is what I was saying is loads of people are like, "Oh yeah, he'll lose those titles at SummerSlam or whatever," because that's like the full 3 years. But as I was saying, Roman is not losing those titles anywhere other than WrestleMania and that. And if he doesn't lose them at WrestleMania 40, he ain't losing them to WrestleMania 41. That's the thing. That's even if he does lose them. he's gonna walk out of that company still as champion.
Oh,
You know,
2030.
Yeah.
Oh,
Obviously, that's if they do it that way,
I'll be
but
34 years old. Xero will be 48. Oh my goodness.
probably. I don't know. Will I be? Probably. Yeah.
Will you? No. How old are you?
35 now.
He's so old. He's got to do the math.
No, 35 this year. I am. So yeah.
You're 35 this year, so you'll be 42.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah.
Give or take, of course.
Yeah. Go on. So yeah. Well, I'm August, so yeah.
Yeah. So yeah. Well, it depends. Well, yeah. You would just if obviously if he loses it by the time Backlash 2028 comes around, you will be 41, going on 42.
Yeah. Yeah, definitely. Yeah. Now, one other thing that I do want to bring up, just before we obviously go off air and stuff, is going back to the whole Roman Reigns thing and the Usos. This Saturday will play a detrimental part in it. I won't say too much about it, but what happens this Saturday will basically cause the Usos to be traded to Raw next week when it comes to it. And that is the official end of the Usos being in the bloodline. And Solo will be the new main guy for that rather than Jimmy and Jay. Obviously, just one bit of news really to cover this week. AEW, they are dropping Dark and Dark Elevation and replacing it with that new Saturday show. So
ROH is going to be the new Dark and Elevation.
Basically, yeah.
That's really what it's come down to.
Yeah, that's what it seems to be, yeah. So they've dropped that, and it's because of an exclusive TV rights now that they've got with Warner Brothers. Basically, Warner Brothers Discovery have told us that they don't want them having content on anywhere else except from their TV channels. So they're not allowed to stream anything on YouTube either now for it, which is
crazy.
Yeah, for it, so which makes sense, and that's part of the new deal to get the Saturday show. Apparently, they were told they would not get the Saturday show if they continued on YouTube. That was part of the thing. So yeah, that was interesting. That one was. So that's what else has done this week. I do just want to say, excellent interview to start us off. It was a really good show this week for that one.
JTG, he came around when I started watching a year in, and the fact that I got to talk to him, over this is I you could call me a Mark if you want. I don't even care. No, I mean the fans. Yeah, but wow, and it's super super nice guy. You can tell.
Yeah,
and
definitely.
Yeah. Hopefully, I'm gonna work to get him on my channel. I 100% am.
Yeah.
Yeah,
well,
I'm gonna make that happen. I'm gonna make that happen for sure. That's
you need to, don't you? Yeah. Yeah. So you need to. Yeah.
Super dope dude, and just just down to earth. You could tell.
Yeah, definitely, 100%. Right, well, that's the stunning for this week. So, do you want to do your normal plug-in like what you normally do?
Yes, go watch my mock draft. We're 4. Oh, good. Did you see that?
No, I didn't know.
Okay, good, perfect. It was like this. I was like, all right, everybody, let's go.
What's your name? RPD? Is your name RPD?
Yeah, RPD. I held it up to camera. I'm like, but like and subscribe. Get my video to 4K, people. I've posted it enough, and I know you're tired of me, and I don't blame you. Even if you just play it through, you can mute me for all I care. Just get me those views. If we were at 3,200 views, I wouldn't even ask for 4K because that would be a little ridiculous. But the fact that we're so close, come on, people, let's do it.
How close are you?
Last I checked, let me open it up again. I accidentally exited out of YouTube. Great, lovely. All right, it's coming back, people. Oh, I got a new subscriber. Yay. We are currently sitting at 3,958 views. 42 away. Come on.
So you did 42 then. So then,
Yeah.
how about this then? So if Bobby can get 42 views by Backlash, so by Saturday,
Okay.
so that's what at time of
That's
recording it's
3
Wednesday.
days.
So 3 days, yeah.
Pretty much 3 days from right now because it's 7 o'clock on my end.
Yeah. So anyone watching this, then go and follow Bobby. Go and watch Bobby's video. If he can get those 40 odd videos there, then I will push to get a interview, which I was talking to Bobby about before we came on air. Former WWE star, now working in Impact.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
I was like, so, at first I was like, wait, are you sure you told me?
No.
Yeah.
So,
no.
So yes,
it's jogging my memory now.
Yeah. So I'll say this one now is I've put in a request to have Trinity on here, formerly known as Naomi. So if Bobby can get those 42 views, then
and I'll be there for that interview.
Yeah,
one way or another. One way or another, I'll be there.
Yeah, I will.
Yeah,
I will push Impact for this interview basically with her, and that no matter what I have to do, even if I have to send Bobby in person to do it, I'll do that.
Yeah, the last time I went on a trip, it went so well. I came back.
Yeah,
and they only got to come back. I'm the only got to come back without souvenirs from a trip.
Yeah. So. Yeah, but no. Yeah. So I'll So. But no, we'll get something sorted out. So so that's a little incentive there. I can't obviously guarantee when it could be or whatever, but it'll be in the works, providing that obviously Bobby gets those numbers within 3 days. It'll be now from our time of recording. So,
and if you're the fourth, if you are the 4,000th view, take a screenshot, send it to me, and Xero will pay you.
I won't pay you at all. I'm not doing that.
I mean, he dropped the JTG news without telling me, so I figured I could drop that news without telling
me. Yeah. Well, I'm not. Sorry, that's not happening.
He will pay you. He will pay you.
No, I won't. No, I won't. I'm not. No,
we'll make it work. We'll make it work.
No, we're not saying that at all. I'm not doing that at all. Basically, So, no. So yeah. So anyway, like I said, another great show tonight. Yeah. Basically. So. Yeah, anything you obviously want to say or anything like that? And those bits and pieces that we've already said about it. So
no, I think I got everything. Just get my video to 4K, man. That's the goal. We're so close. Let's do it. Like, I don't want to have to watch it 42 more times, people. Come on. Will I do it? Yeah, but like, come on.
He probably would. He probably would just to get the interview. So.
If we're that close, if I open it at one point and I see it's at $39.99, I'm watching it. I don't care. I really don't.
Yeah. That's cool. Some news has just come down that SummerSlam, Roman Reigns' opponent is likely to be AJ Styles, basically.
That makes sense.
For SummerSlam, yeah. So
that makes a lot of sense.
Yeah. Then he's meant to be feuding with Lashley and Karrion Kross as well. That's the other two feuds that he's meant to be having this year. So it'd be Styles, Lashley, and Kross. So that's that. So that's just done. Another great show. Back to normal next week, unless I slip in an interview. Unless I slip in like some interviews over the next couple of days and try and like arrange that.
And Lord knows he won't tell me. He'll just bring them into the chat.
I might do that. I might actually do that one time. Just not tell you in that, and then just be like, "Oh yeah, by the way, Bobby," and then just add somebody in, and you're like, "Oh, okay," But no, it's I know we like to normally unplan the shows, and that we're meant to be like, just like we just go with the flow. But that would be the ultimate thing, which would be like, no, we like to plan interviews. We do.
We do.
We do like to plan interviews, for that one. Yeah, that's the only thing we do plan before the shows, though. We obviously want to say like roughly what we want to do, but there we go, a little bit of a thingy there. But no, so that's just done. Long show today again, hour and 23. So
that's okay.
Not too bad. Obviously, we overran on the JTG interview. We were only actually meant to have him. Well, we're only meant to have him for 30 minutes, but he stayed on nicely for us, and we ended up going 40, I think, with JTG. If I remember rightly, was so we got an extra 10 minutes out of him, which wasn't too bad. So
Yeah, no, he made it. Yeah, I mean,
Yeah.
great dude though.
yeah, Roger. So anyway, yeah, so this is Xero then.
And
Thank
I'm
you for
Bobby.
watching. Don't forget to subscribe to both the channels and like and subscribe. So
Yeah.
yeah, see you all next week on Xero Uncut.